Jason Mercer. He's the Chief Market Analyst at the Toronto Real Estate Board. Jason, good morning. So let's talk more about this data that was released. December ended slightly up with national home sales. Is this the trend that you were expecting?
Yeah, well, certainly you can break 2022 into sort of three parts. And we started very, very strong. And then in the early spring, we started to see the Bank of Canada move into their aggressive rate tightening cycle. And so initially, we saw a pretty steep downward trend in terms of both sales and price. But interestingly, as we moved out of the summer and into the fall, we started to see a bit of a flatlining, both in terms of sales and price, and even a bit of an upwards trend, as you mentioned, in December. And so that suggests that, if that continues into 2023, the first few months, maybe signaling a bit of a bottom in this cycle, and you may start to see some buyers who are sort of waiting on the sidelines to see where this market is going to go might start moving back into the marketplace.
Yeah, the number of newly listed properties dropped by 6.4%. So what impact does that have on the demand for housing?
Well, listings have been a major problem really over the past, half decade or so, where we haven't seen the number of homes being constructed and by extension, the number of homes being listed for sale, keeping up with population growth. And that's why, we've seen more often than not very tight market conditions and a lot of competition between buyers. And so, we've recently heard that 2022 was a record year in terms of immigration into Canada, and we're going to continue to set records for the foreseeable future. And that means that all of these households, new households, are going to require a place to live. Some of them will choose to rent, some of them will choose to buy, but on either side of that coin, we're really suffering from a lack of housing. And so we're going to need to see at all levels of government policies pointed at, bringing more supply online. Otherwise, we're going to see, a tightening in the market again and a movement back to unaffordable pricing.
So what then is the outlook for 2023? What factors are you watching to impact home sales?
Sure. So, TREB's going to be releasing its outlook on February 10th, but certainly some of the things we'll be speaking to is on the short-term side, still looking at the impact of higher borrowing costs, much higher in comparison to this time last year. But on the medium to longer term side, we're going to be looking at the impact of population growth and sort of looking at, do we in the aggregate have enough housing coming online, and then sort of drilling down, do we have enough diversity in the housing stock to allow people to more easily move through that housing continuum over time.
Jason, thanks so much. Jason Mercer is the Chief Market Analyst at the Toronto Real Estate Board.